humans are interesting. So there's been more added to the blog post regarding Jing Lucy, saying her tone is very condescending, very arrogant. I thought, well, if I talk like water, it becomes the cup. Put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. Then people will call me an imitator. They're going to say, oh, he sounds like Bruce Lee. He's the next Bruce Lee. If people speak with a particular accent and they're Chinese, then they're just arrogant. If we talk like this and not really sure what we're saying, then we're somewhat accepted. These stereotypes need to break quickly. Or would you rather I talk like this? And just to try and not break anyone's balls, when I explain a story, it's sort of so that I don't hurt anyone's feelings, and in a kind of lifty way where I'm telling you the story, but I'm doing it in such a way that I'm not hurting anyone's feelings, because I really don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I just want to be normal. I think talking this way will get everyone to like me, and it's important these days for everyone to like me. Get the fuck out of here. That is a problem I see with society, where not so much you're going to go for the underdog, but you're going to promote what's bad. You're going to sensationalize certain things just because it's the trend. You're going to trend it. Things like that Korean song. More recently, that blue and black dress. Before that, Ice Bucket Challenge. And then things like selfies. In order to convey a message, one has to be direct. One has to come from a place where we know what we're talking about. We are passionate about how we feel about the movement. If this is not delivered in such a manner, then the listener will turn off. Now, if I say the same thing again, but in a lifty voice, it's a totally different message. I'm worried for our future generation, what our children will be taught. That it's acceptable to be mediocre, that you shouldn't pursue your dreams, that buying a house, getting married, getting a well-paid job is the way to a good life. Eventually, you'll realize that material things are just that. Yes, money is good, and it is an enabler in order for you to move from A to B, in order for you to grow and develop. Without money, you would not be able to have an education, per se. Without money, you wouldn't be able to travel, per se. The way people come across to me in this day and age, in our smartphone generation, is one of, I don't want to press any buttons because I don't want to be seen as someone that aggravates people, that someone that annoys people, because I want everyone to like me. And because everything these days is online, I don't want someone to record me in public, upload it to the internet, and then it become viral. And I'm portrayed that way from a 30-second clip as that is my character. And that is how I behave 24/7. That's just unrealistic. You are different things depending on the circumstance. And you are who you are. Now, for you to try and mask that in order to seek approval, that's why I have against this new generation. Coming across as fake in order to disguise the fact of a true self. That is what I have against this generation. The internet was meant to bring people together. And yet, in some ways, it's making people more and more alone. The only togetherness is things like this blog post, where if you're not one of the crowd being critical, then you're not seen as cool. Growing up, I don't remember the exact point, but I remember one time I just questioned, why am I doing this? Why am I trying to follow this trend? I don't even like this trend. It's not me. And if my friends have something against that, then they weren't really my friends to begin with. I appreciate in a work environment you behave a certain way. At home, with your friends and family, you behave a certain way. Out in public, when there are no cameras around, you behave a certain way. There's different modes for behavior, and there is no totality within that. This program was scripted, and the fact that people to this day still can't see that anything broadcast, even the news, is scripted in such a way that it engages a feeling, then they're just blind to the fact. I would say the greater audience for this piece was not Chinese people, but non-Chinese people who wanted to know a bit more about Chinese New Year. Therefore, Jing had to go in there as if she didn't know anything. Not to be clueless, but to engage the viewer into a fact that, oh, this is what it's about. It's like a lecturer who just gives you the facts and doesn't engage you. You're not going to learn anything. She did her best in portraying from her background how the fact that she's been brought up in such a British way that her Chinese culture is all but disappeared. I don't like the way that these people have responded to the piece. Yes, people are entitled to their opinion. Just I wonder if they really know where that opinion came from. And the fact that if she's been speaking that way, in that manner, her whole life, for a 30-minute piece, for her to be judged on that, then these days we are too quick to judge. These days, because of social media maybe, everything is just transparent. Okay, I'm going off point here, so end of part 2.